back guys. Now, as you can see, I've already put the undercoat on everything. My next colour is my Dulux stainless steel, but I haven't got a lot. So, what I'm going to do is spray this just where I think there's going to be wear and tear. So what you do is you'll just spray an area where there's got a lot of wear, where you've got a little bit of rust. So that's going to be along these edges here. Red. And I'm not really worried about mixing up the pigment really well at this stage. Just make sure you can see that. So, bit of paint. Now, there's several more steps to this, so I'm not worried about how uneven or how even that salt looks. There we go. On the front of this dial, that sticks up even more. Along the top of the gun, where there's always going to be wear, even with the shield on, things will happen. Now I'll just do that to all the little bits and pieces, and I'll get back to you when we get to the silver. Alright, well, just practically went down right to the last drop in the can. But as you can see, I've just put the silver where the weapon is likely to rub during normal wear and tear, along the bottom there as well. I've missed a bit at the back. In the past I put the markings on after I painted the gun, so that means more masking and the risk of damaging the paint. What I'm going to do with this one is actually put the markings on beforehand. At the next stage, once the black's down, when I say metallic flat black, what I'm going to do is spray it black, then overspray it with either one of these. I've got a lot of that one, soft flat iron. These are those ones that sort of spit the paint out, but it spits it out in a good sort of misty way. So it'll be black with this mist of metal over it, so I'll have a slight sheen, so it'll be differentiated from just the plain flat black. So what I'm going to do is leave all this to dry for now, then I'll come back later, rub off all the salt, put on the clay, and then that stage tomorrow I'm then going to put my markings on. I've been thinking about the colour scheme, and having a lot of this a black metallic with the rubber up here, what I've decided, instead of having that black rubber and this black rubber and having the metal black metallic, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have this these surrounds as like a grey coloury rubber. And luckily I've got some grey primer, and that will do, because once that's washed with the black it should look pretty good. And that will give me a greater contrast between the black metal and the surrounds, handholds, rubber pads, whatever you want to call them. So, because this is all going to be painted black, I don't have to worry about masking that now. I can just spray my grey in, and then I can mask around these lines later. Back mask those, and then before I paint the black I'll put my colour accents on, like I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about having like the front portion of this a red stripe, you know, danger, this is the pointy end sort of thing, and a few other things. Any text I'm going to put on it, I'll have to put that in before, let's see, yeah, paint the black, then put any black text I want in, put it in, then that goes over with white. Because if I do the whole thing black except for these grey areas I've just painted, when I paint the white it won't be as bright because it's got a black undercoat. So other things I'm going to do, I've got some nice already marked lines in there, stripes, so I might, you know, put a yellow and black check in there or something, or stripes I should say, check, what am I talking about? So this gun is going to get progressively more and more covered up with masking and tape and newspaper and bits as I paint bits. So when at the end, when I take all that off, it's just have to do it once and it's done. Of course, you know, every time you take tape off, you risk lifting paint off. Certain areas like this will just be painted black because that's mostly going to be hidden. Almost forgot the clay masking. So what you do is just run it along where you want some of the silver to show through for wear, usually on the edge of things. Now if I spray down there red, have the front part of this red, when I take that off, this will be white and there'll be a red part on it where it's been marked, but you'll still see some of this silver in the wear because being clay, this will just wash straight off when you hit it with some water, and you get your instant wear and tear. And what might be cool is actually spraying a little bit of soot staining, carbon staining around this from the gun actually firing. Now, you just have to be sparing, and of course you don't want to get on this part because you want this to look plastic, you know, like a proper hand grip. Even just running along the ferrule, the metal ferrule, you can just control where the clay goes. What you want to avoid is a brush mark. As you can see, I've painted a lot of things black. I've masked areas I want to keep grey, so when I do spray this, those areas will stay grey. I've got to put some masking on these stripes. I'm going to do black and white stripes because red and white would be too much sort of barbershop. And I think it'll look good because I've done it on this, and I'm going to pull off the tape. Let's do it together. Let's see. I've cut this tape so precise it's going to be a bit hard to get off. This is just to give it a bit more visual interest. And the reason I've done it white, because what I'm going to do is get a red stencil and do, you know, live rounds across it. I think it'll look really, really good. Forgot, of course, to file and carve all the Nerf symbols off it, which is annoying, but I'm not worried. More surface detail. Who knows, maybe Nerf in the future actually makes assault weapons. Okay, so you get the gist. That's going to look pretty good, I reckon. So I can do the rest and take off the masking. Now, I've got my little pack of wood veneer paper letters out, so I'm just putting a few letters on things. So as you can see, I've put team number or something on that. So sprayed white, stick the letters on, then I'll spray the whole thing black, pull the letters off. You get the gist. Oh, and here we have a problem. This was looking good. I sprayed red across there, put a band of tape across, and then I was going to, you know, then paint that white and leave that grey. When I pulled the tape off, of course it came off. I figured I'd have that problem. You can see how easy it comes off. This tape, the grey undercoat isn't coming off at all. So the red paint stuck to the grey and the grey came up with it. Alright guys, so I found a word I can spell out, and I'm just running my ruler along there to use as a baseline. I'm just using tweezers to put down the letters, but I'm not going to press them down hard yet because you know what happens when you do this sort of thing, you always run out of room. So what you do is you just bend the paper away from the letter. If you try to grab these letters in the corner and pull them up, you'll actually delaminate the layers of cardboard that they're made out of. Oh, you spelt it wrong already, see? That's why you don't stick them down. I'm actually spelling the word breach, and I'm also using the measurement, so that starts at 70, the next one will start at 90, so I'll get the best spacing, and the next one will be 110. That's what I'm talking about, delaminating. I pulled that A off, and you can see it took off the backing paper, and getting that little bit of backing paper off. Oh, there's the actual letter there. So that's all right, I can use that. And I've got a feeling I'm going to have to move everything because I'm going to run out of room. Oh, look at that. Yeah. That H is delaminated on me. That's the problem. I've got the telephoto on too much. Yeah. So pull that off. Get rid of that. I don't need it. All I want is a sticky bit. Okay. Trouble with sticky bits, they stick to you. Okay. Let's see. It looks a bit odd, doesn't it? Okay. Now I've got my breech, and I might have room to put the number underneath here. Perfect, look at that. So move it down, make it straight. There we go. So there we have it. Just press it down, just so when I'm moving the thing around, spraying it, it's not going to fall off. And here's where the fun starts. Obviously I haven't pushed the letters down enough. The 4 was down enough. So that's one. So what I could do, get some white paint in the brush and just forming that a bit better, but I'm pretty bad freehand. With the washes and the chipping and everything, it probably won't be that noticeable, just taking some dirt. So as that's done, this is done. I only just painted that, but it's ready to come off anyway. Yeah, that's going to look good once they do all the chipping and weathering on it. Just to break up the outline a bit more, make it a bit more interesting. So that's it for now. As you can see, there's a fair few parts down on this. This is my finished table, except for that, which is going to be a nightmare, but that'll be a whole other video. So got a few more things to mask and paint, and then we'll be done. All right, talk to you again soon. Bye. Right, final masking, I hope. So I've been toying with what areas of this to do white and what areas of this to do black, and I'm going to mask. I've painted all this white, and you might see it has a red tinge, but that's because of the undercoat. Once the black's on, it'll look white. That won't be a great issue. So this area here, I'm thinking all of this and the top area of this, so that allows me to have the cover over the magazine area white, which I really wanted because I wanted to really heavily soot it and dirty it up. So that will go roughly there-ish, something like that. So that area, a little bit up the top, and that's about it. And then I can just go over and spray the whole thing black, pull all the masking off, wash all the clay off, and it's done. Alright guys, there we go. About an hour and a half of taping up bits and pieces, covering everything on white. So that one is all ready for painting, which I'll go and do now, and then I'll do the other one, bring the other one over and unwrap it because I've just painted it. Right, here's the first side. Now, first thing I do before I start pulling off the tape is see if there's anywhere I've missed. I don't have to pull off the masking and remask, and yep, there's a spot just in there, little white line, so I've got to cover that up. Alright, so that's an area that got no abrasives on it at all, and the paint just simply will not stick, so I'll have to resand and repaint that by hand. That doesn't look too bad. I'll go and get on with the other one